What's up, everybody? SrSpookfest here. We are back at the infamous Fort Monroe. So it's a little windy out here, but on the fort it shouldn't be too windy. We do have a tropical storm coming in probably tomorrow night. Erin is going to blast us with high winds and waters. We have advisories right now, but I figured I'd do this tonight, and we're going to check out and see if I can get the footsteps at quarters 1 again. So I'll hang out there for a while. This is probably one of my favorite places in Virginia to come investigate. What's going on? Let's catch some ghosts. Let's do this. Hey, Andrea, Anna, Andrea Carpenter, Michael's Wilderness Exploration 2. So this is Fort Monroe. If you haven't seen me do this place before, I've done this a bunch. Many stories, all sorts of stories of paranormal activity over the years. This fort has actually, there's been something here for 400 years. The big fort, the stone, and all this has been here since the 1800s, early 1800s. They have huge cannons. They have stories of women in white. There is also a woman in blue that, and I got a green light. Let's go. Let me switch my camera. So, we are looking for shadow figures. We are looking for ghost noises, anything, footsteps. The last time I was here, I got footsteps right under this building up here. Let's get through this passageway kind of quick. Echo! I don't want to have a car come. But it is a bit windy. We're still going to go right up to this and actually just start. Shouldn't be too many people around with it being stormy and stuff. So, the last time I was here, quarters 1, this building is where Abraham Lincoln stayed at the fort. Here's some signage. I show this most times. In this house, President Abraham Lincoln stayed during his visit of May 6th to the 11th, 1862. There's that President Lincoln, General Wool, and Commodore Goldsborough planned the attack of Norfolk and Virginia. So, we've got, at least twice now, I've been pretty freaked out doing an investigation under here. And it's just sunset now. And sorry about wind, but nothing I could do. So what I wanted to say was, when I got the footsteps, I was right under there, and no person walked past out here. I could see both ways. I could see down the tunnel. There was nobody walking. Definitely one of my better captures. And we're going to try and see if we can get that again. Hello, I'm Ryan. You might remember me. But I even ran over here and looked both ways. Nobody had walked past. So this is the biggest stone fort in Virginia on the East Coast with a full moat. There's stories of the moat monster that an admiral had reported. But I will show you right now what it sounded like. My camera set up next to that pillar right there. Oop. Okay, sorry. Get yelled at. Well, that's the first time I've got yelled at. Hello? Yeah, I was just checking out the building. Alright. Have you ever had any weird experiences? Alright. Well, we'll go somewhere else. Alright, so I can't do a repeat of what I did last time, but we could still walk around. So one time I was over here and I did an investigation, and on top of one of the buildings over here I saw a full shadow figure run across one of the ramparts. Probably kicked me out because they're still doing renovations. Hey, horror. Yeah, they do renovations, and eventually I gotta talk to somebody to see if I could go in there and do an investigation. But we can go to another house that is reported. A woman in a blue dress has been seen, and I do think it was probably a soldier at quarters 1 here. I don't want to piss off security guards, so I'll keep it down. But this house at the end of this and the church over here have some crazy stories. Well, that sucks because I can't repeat my investigation, but I can at least go over here. We'll go somewhere else and see if we can set up some equipment. Maybe I'll go over to the DRESI battery. I'm wondering if something happened, that somebody tried to get in there or something, because usually security doesn't care as long as you're not going up on the property or trying to get in the house. Yeah, if he follows me and tells me I have to leave, that's fine. I can go down the street to DRESI battery, where a cannon explosion happened and 11 soldiers lost their lives. Cannon breach blew up and a bunch of guys passed away. It was a sad one. And that was back in the early, 1890s. But he just scared me, and I don't want to piss him off. They must have had people trying to get in there or something, because usually the security guy just drives around, and as long as you're being respectful and not trying to break anything, or he was like, no, just get out of there, you can't be in there. But maybe I should walk this way. This is the way I walked before and seen something run across the top of this building. That's a goose or a stork. So see where these tree branches are? Right here. That's where I saw somebody run across. And this building ends, and the shadow just went from here all the way across and kept running and was just gone. I wish I caught that. Who knows? We might get lucky tonight. If he keeps yelling at me, I'll just go out and we'll go to a different part, one of the old cannon stations. Yeah, I don't know if something's going on. That road over there looks blocked off and more security coming over this way. Am I gonna get kicked out? Probably. Whatever. Let's go to the house with the blue orb. So reports are that a blue orb has been seen at this 1885 house, and it's under construction, but you can still see in the windows and stuff. And I watched a YouTube earlier today that the back window behind the house, actually somebody says they caught a figure of that woman in a blue dress, and you can kind of see a figure in the back window. But over the years, there's hundreds of reports from the soldiers and even generals and stuff reporting hearing those footsteps walking up to them, or hearing knocking at one of the buildings, even screaming. Oh, she scared me. Bird scared me. So another story. I have the whole book of like all the stories. There's a little boy that plays the flute, and I guess he's rather photogenic. Like he doesn't mind getting his picture taken or anything like that. Kind of sucks. I immediately got kicked out of there. And then this church over here has a pretty cool story about a guy who said if he ever goes in the church, it will catch on fire. And they did his funeral at this church, and the rafters at the church actually caught on fire. And I think it was 1889. This house actually got struck by lightning and then rebuilt. So this whole area is rather freaky. And there are some people that actually live here that have a lot of stories. Not too many people do full investigations here. I've seen some clips, but not full couple hours. Now I'm even nervous to set up equipment. I'm gonna get kicked out by security. Yeah, so this house is reported to be one of the more haunted places. What are you guys saying? Damn ducks keep scaring me. Oh, security's looking for me again. I might just go over to the battery one. But this place, maybe we'll walk around the other side and look at the windows. Yeah, security's really on me tonight, I guess. He's flashing his flashlight at me. Hi, I'm just looking at buildings. I'm not hurting anybody. I probably don't want people doing paranormal investigations. Airplane. Yeah, this place has always been pretty creepy. They've totally ripped off the whole front now. There was a front like porch on there. This is the size of the cannon that blew up. It's a 15-inch barrel, 300-pound cannonball. Insanely huge cannon. The size of the cannonball is just half of it. Yeah, that's kind of a big cannon. Ooh, spider in there too. So, the road next to the church, maybe we'll go walk that way since security just went past it. That road, or this whole road we're walking on, is Ghost Alley, and there's been reports of many sightings of shadow figures and stuff. This is 15-inch, 1860, 300-pound cannonballs. Alright. You know what? We'll walk around this way and look at the back side of the house. What a cool house. Dame? Dame? Ukraine? Ukraine! Hi. Did I scare you? Yeah, what a cool place. Love the history of this place, and I don't know if I've ever looked at the back side. Oh, this is the playground area. Let's take a look at the back. So, I believe it was that window, but someone had a picture of what looks like a shadowy figure. Definitely spooky over here. Maybe we'll just walk around. I don't want to stop and set up equipment just in case security's still trying to tell me to leave. Let's do a cut through. Go back towards the church. It's a nice area. I love this whole fort. So for a long time there were wooden structures and stuff before the fort was actually built. And what is that? I'm pissing off all the ducks. Spooky. Ooh, yeah. Definitely a creepy spot. Let's go check out the church. So I like to keep my eyes on the tops of the buildings too, just because that's where I've seen shadow figure run past before. So this whole road is Ghost Alley. And yeah, it looks like parts of the roads are blocked off, though the light's on in the church. That's cool. So, I'm not going to go back under quarters 1 because I will get yelled at. So maybe we'll go to the top of the fort and do an investigation with some equipment to see if we get anything. Cool old church. And the Ghost Alley is said you can hear screams. People have heard whistling, knocking on the windows. Go check out the lighthouse across the way from this. Let's go right up here. We'll go walk on the ramparts. Sorry I didn't get to do my spot where I got the footsteps before. I just don't want to piss off the security people. up the hill. Okay. So, there's more than one lady. There's a lady in gray, a lady in blue, and a lady in white. I think lady in white and gray are the same. This lighthouse, she's said to be looking for her husband. And this whole fort was really strategically placed so to protect the bay and everything in Virginia. So cool, crazy battles happened here. What they used to call old Ironside boats. They'd be covered in metal, pretty much tanks, floating tanks. And they had battles out here, which is some of my favorite boats. That's a big hotel over there, I believe. And I was reading about the hotel and the stuff right outside the fort that is haunted. There's also a theater right over that way. And it said a little kid was helping his father clean up the theater. And every time he tried to throw away a popcorn bucket, it would keep jumping out of the trash can. And he said, "Hey, Dad, are you seeing this?" He turned around and his dad was actually coming in the room, so it wasn't his dad he was talking to about the trash jumping out. And he said he was talking to a shadow figure in the theater. Well, I don't even know if I want to turn my light on, but these are all cannon platforms. Huge cannon platforms. I wasn't bad. The security caught me immediately. Okay, rubber gloves. Am I going to get murdered up here? So over the years, some of the soldiers talked about how they've seen shadow figures walking up here and heard people talking or screams. There's even said to be a little boy playing a flute, and he will run up to people. Now, when the footsteps walked up to me at quarters 1 over there, what I was going to say is it sounded like it was walking up the path towards me and not out on the street or anything. It was only maybe 8-10 feet away. Now, this whole area could play tricks on your eyes. See, like those posts. Very cool area. I love this whole place. So you can get a good view. There's the church. And right here is where I saw a shadow figure run across. And it seemed like he just kept running off this edge over here. I'm going to keep my light low because I don't want to get kicked out right now. But yeah, I was right down there in that path. And from behind this tree came a person, ran all the way across this and just kept running. And then there was nothing. I don't know. Can't explain that one. Maybe we'll go do an investigation right over here. I know it's windy, so REM pod ain't gonna help me, and spirit box is loud. I do. You get that certain feeling. You can tell you're walking through crazy history. Shall I set up over here? Yeah, I don't even think I could use REM pod anyway. Just too windy for REM pod. I might try the bell and music box and maybe try an S box. this does seem like a good spot. Let me set you up and we'll see if I can get anything. It's definitely dark. I'm gonna have to probably turn my light on for some of it. Hopefully the guy doesn't come up here and start yelling at me. No ghost investigating. No fun. No more fun, people. Right now I'll just put out the bell and the music box and we'll see. Okay, I'm not doing what I want to. There we go. Hello, I'm Ryan. So I have a bell and a little music box here. If you'd like to show me you're here, you can turn this little handle. I'm just going to try those two so you can see where they are, and I'm behind the camera. It's pretty dark, but I don't want to keep my light on. Security run over and tell me I gotta leave. I'm actually going to leave those there for a second and walk down the way. I'll be right back. Yeah, nothing really works out the way you think it will. I do have a coin. Somewhere. Yeah, I can't find it. Oh well. Would you like to show yourself to me? I've been here a few times. I'm Ryan. Oh, here comes security again. I'll keep my light out for a second. Uh-oh. I think I might be getting kicked out if that is security. So we're just going to throw these back in the bag and walk on. Okay, let's just keep walking and we'll just say we're taking a night walk. Ooh, what's that? Airplane? Airplane. Well, if you guys come up that way, I'm going the other way. Getting chased around by security. Not like I'm bothering anyone up here, but all these houses were like higher up generals and this is an airplane, right? Scooter power. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, just a plane. Airplane. Ooh. It's definitely getting windier. I can tell that storm's coming in. Well, this didn't work out like I thought it would. Hello, airplane. Better take out my flashlight. There's stuff over here. Old cannon stations, pivot points and stuff. That was a big one there. Maybe I should try one here. Still too windy. But I did plan on doing, my main goal was under quarters 1 there, that big white house. But I'm thinking security is keeping an eye on it. It seems like something happened. That's usually security's not just hanging out by the building. But this is an old station, lookout station that they don't use anymore. Holy windy. The lights on stuff now. The last time I was here, the lights were on. Let's go down. It's just too windy up here. Cool place though. Absolutely love the history of this. And Edgar Allan Poe was locked up here for a while for trying to desert the army. Jefferson Davis, the president of the Confederate Army, was locked up here. There's a lot of history and crazy stories, from seeing shadow dogs, because there's a pet cemetery here, to seeing full shadow figures, women dressed up. Let's see, maybe we can cut across. What we'll do is cut across and go over to the old jail cells, and I'll set up in there. I don't think he'll yell at me for setting up next to a gate, and there won't be any wind, so I could probably set up the REM pod and everything and see if we get anything. If I get kicked out, I get kicked out. But definitely keeping my eyes up there where I was just walking. Watch out for giant spiders. Whoa, that's a big web, dude. Ew. Yeah, and that's some of the nicer housing that some of the higher ups would have lived in. Beautiful, cool old buildings. A lot of them 1800s. Now that I've learned a little bit more about the area, there's a hotel that's said to be haunted right outside from this fort. You are on the biggest fort in the East Coast. And I think I remember where I'm going. I had to cut across this huge building. Lots of guys stayed here. From 1800 on, it was Civil War, Revolutionary War, all sorts of sieges happened. This was a Confederate fort before the Union troops took it over. There was even a train over here. There's supposedly underground tunnels for the Underground Railroad, stuff like that. Let's just cut across. I think I've done enough of a loop that the security guy won't find me now. So this big main building there had a train station. Oh yes, you scared me. Is that like a blue crane? Blue crane. Jeez. Scared me. Alright, so I can't remember if it's over that way or over this way. But I have talked to a guy who lives here that has said he's seen shadow figures over this way just running across. And I believe that gatehouse is over here. We'll go see the mannequin again. I was right next to it and walked all the way around. Well, is that security again? No, somebody taking pictures. Yeah, and made me crap my pants the last time. And those ducks keep scaring me. Yeah, there's a bunch of kids over there playing. Hopefully they don't follow me. But yeah, let's get to the guardhouse. What's this? I don't think I ever read this. This tree planted with authentic soil from Omaha Beach in Normandy, France, commemorates the 40th anniversary of Allied forces landing on June 6, 1944, and stands as a memorial to sacrifices in battle, intangible symbol of our heritage. Planted 6 June 1984, Colonel Beach E. Mackin, Post Commander Colonel Jean Burrell, and French Ellison officer. So that's a cool tree. And they took the mannequin out. And kids are saying whopper. Hi, birdie. Yeah, mannequin's gone. Oh well. Let's get over to the I'll show you where some of the barracks, or not barracks, jailhouse was. We'll set up in there and see if we can get anything. I'll probably only do a little bit longer since security already yelled at me. I planned on doing like an hour and a half, 2 hours, but I wanted to do the first hour under quarters 1. But this spot over here, I mean, I'll be lit up, but if security goes past, I can just leave. Let's see if we can set some stuff up over here. So this room had a lot of inmates, people that were locked up from the wars. It's a bit warm, I'm sweating. And right above this actually is the pet cemetery. I don't think security will come yell at me, but who knows. And this might just be a wind tunnel. We'll see. This room in which you are standing is present main gate, walkways, and the original part of the guardhouse for Fort Monroe. The door in front of you leads to individual cells as opposed to the large room in which you are standing, which for 20 to 40 guys in this guardhouse. It was remodeled in 1870 and replaced by a new guardhouse in 1900. And behind that door, I'd love to go in there. I bet that's spooky. And then the story of the moat monster, because this moat is pretty big. Oh, you could see all the fish jumping. Something must be trying to eat them, or they're attracted to my flashlight. This guardhouse was old, and it's where they would lock people up. Let's do a little knock. Hello, I'm Ryan. Would you like to knock on this? Let's set you up towards that door, and I'll put some equipment out because there's no wind in here, so if the guard comes and kicks me out, he kicks me out. Let's just put this over here so that, and here comes security. Oh, nope, I'm okay. Let's put a few items in front of this door and see if anything goes off. Whew. Okay. So, we have a bunch of stuff over there. If you'd like to let's set that off, let me know you're here. A little red light. There's a bell and a little music box. And we're just going to hang out for a little while. Once again, I'm Ryan. Get some mermaids. Legends of mermaids are all around here. If you used to work here, there's this little black box up here that will light up. Music box. And a bell. If you'd like to show us yourself, let us know you're here. You can talk into this device right in front of me here. I'm sorry you were locked up here. It is creepy looking into the water down there. So I got all that stuff. You can do, use it, play with it. It's for you. All right. Well, I'm not going to hang out here too long. Unless you start to show me something, I'm going to pack it up and leave. But I'll sit behind the camera here. If you could make the footstep noises again and walk up to me. What are you guys saying? Look out for that mannequin. They took the mannequin away. Oh, REM pod has temperature change. It's just a little red light flashing on it. Usually if it's a big temperature change though, it will actually beep. Like that. Could you touch it more? Maybe grab onto the wire next to the red light. It changes colors, like you saw it turn green when I got near it. And over at quarters 1, I had somebody walk up to me. Do you know that person? Do you know if it was a guy or a girl? Maybe make the REM pod go off once if it's a guy. Okay. I thought security was coming past again. That wasn't though. Would you like to show yourself to me? Can you give me a sign? Anything. A knock on the door, hit the bell. Might have seen an orb, but it was maybe just from when I moved the camera. Probably. I'm not moving, I'm sitting still, trying to be quiet. Respect to all the guys that fought in battles. You guys had it hard. I'm very sorry you got locked up. And if you want to say anything, you can say something. REM pod is temperature change again. Ah, thank you. There is no wind in here, so that I know that was you. Thank you very much. Could you do it some more? That was cool. It shouldn't have gone off. Hey, did you guys hear that? Oh, oh shit, man. Somebody just screamed outside of this room. Like right outside. That freaked me out. Somebody screamed. Let's go see. REM pod went off right after the scream. Anybody hear that? Oh, I got full chicken. My hair is standing up. That was right outside of here. There's nobody in that building or in there. They just keep some lights on. Okay. I haven't heard a scream like that in a while. It was just like somebody actually screamed. Anybody hear that? It's not a lot of you here, but I'm going to have to review that. Could you set the REM pod off again? And you could see they had old tracks to move stuff, like maybe a cannon out here, and then they had dump pits from up above because there's REMs up there. That scream really scared me. I'm gonna put it back where it was. Oh man, I'm a bit scared now. I'm hoping I picked that up. That was like right outside this room. Somebody just went, oh! That's another one of the report. All right, on the count of three, could you, all the way to yellow, blue, okay. There really is not enough wind for that to get set off. And I know that battery's good. On the count of three, could you set that off again? 1, 2, 3. You heard a woman say, get back? Really? Okay. Man, I'm freaked out a bit. Oh, jeez. I still have chills. Hold on a sec. Yeah, I mean, there's not that much. There's no wind in here. I think security's coming by. Oh, nope. Just people leaving. Might have been them yelling, but I didn't see any cars. Could you make that little music box go off? Or the bell next to it? Millimeter, I haven't seen change. It's 0, 0 still. Let's test this. Alright. That was from me, obviously. I touched it, but could you stop that? Sounded like help. It sounded like it was right outside this room. That's what really scared me. Gave me full chicken skin. And that's in a crevice there, and there's no wind blowing in from this way. And that way, I mean, it shouldn't keep going off. Could you make it do boop, 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 like 1, 2, 3? Okay, sort of. Yeah, it sounded like it was right out here. There's nobody around. All right, well, I'm going to be packing this up soon and walking over. We're going to be moving our spot. Is there anything else you'd like to show me? I really do appreciate you doing that. On the count of 3, could you do it again? 1, 2, 3. No? All right, well, I'm going to give you like 5 more minutes. Up. Millimeter was just up. That millimeter went to like a 1, 4. It's back to 0, 0, but there's a K2 on the door too. Could you touch that little black box on the door? The only electricity that it would set off from maybe the light, but all right. I just heard something else. I'm gonna go the long way, walk around and see if there's a person. Nobody messing with me. I just heard like footsteps again. Alright. Yeah, there's more wind blowing through here now than there was earlier, so if it was wind, the REM pod would be going off. I think what we'll do is grab this stuff. Thank you very much. I heard something again. What is that? It's not just from the wind either. It sounds like somebody's over here. So, hold on. Somebody in here. This is like part of the old jail. No. But they put 20 people in that room. Tiny room. And sometimes up to 40 in a room this size. I can't imagine. Alright. Let's grab my stuff. we'll walk the long way around back towards the car. And never know, we might get lucky and see shadow figure, or I'm always hoping for one of the manually operated things to go off. But thank you for communicating. If you did, I'm gonna grab this stuff. Hold on one sec. Okay. So, I will be back here and do another investigation and see if you want to communicate. Let's take the long walk back. Let's see if we spot anything. This time I'm not going up on the hill with the pet cemetery, but so where Edgar Allan Poe down this road, he was locked up. So was Jefferson Davis. There's other famous people that were here throughout the years. Vieira Davis is the one that I believe is said to knock on windows over at quarters 1. Yeah, and I'll go the long way. It might be a little windy, but man, sometimes you just get the extra creeps. That was fun, just in that little area. Whoever screamed, I didn't see any cars, there was no one around. Somebody screamed and then the REM pod went off, so that was interesting. Doesn't mean it's paranormal, there are people that live here, but still gave me a good goosebumps. Jeez. Oh yeah, that back alley, I might go through there. Let's cut through here so it's less wind. It seems like there's another jail area over there with the slim windows, like so you couldn't get out. This whole area has just crazy amount of stories. Whoa. From shadow people to ladies in white, hearing screaming like we kind of just did. Hopefully I got that pretty clearly on here. This was an important building, I know that. I would like to look into the movie theater that's supposed to be haunted and maybe see if I can get in there. It's that movie theater with the shadow man that a kid talked to while he was cleaning up the theater. Thought it was his dad, but then his dad walked in the room and said, "Who are you talking to?" And the kid turned around and no one was there. But I know that building had big meetings for the war parties and what ships were going to get sent out, where to bring stuff, and how much, what ships to use to protect the harbor and stuff. This part always creeps me out. this whole building is empty. Dark and creepy. Always feel very weird here. What the? Okay. I'm just seeing stuff and freaking out a bit. Good God, don't have a face. Always been one of the spookier areas. I don't know what it is. Oh, a fox. Yeah, I've seen a fox across the street over there. That's a brick wall. Let's cut through. Oh, jeez. That equipment scared me. Oh, God. Alright, well, I'm going to be heading back to the car, but at least I did get to set up some equipment. Oof. Spooky. So, this was the old clock tower building. Somewhere around here, the train tracks ran and stuff. There's the old clock tower. If you'd like to show yourself, maybe move one of these curtains. Well, I know it's windy, but I just heard a bang over there. Hopefully not run into security again. Let's get going. Yeah, this is old brick. This must be where like the train parking spots now, but there must have been a rail track over here. And this is where Steve, I talked to him, he lives here. He's probably lived here a few months, like 5-6 months now. Said he has seen shadow figures running across this big open field. Yeah, I don't know, that fox did run by. It sounded like a person though. It didn't really sound like a normal fox. It sounded like a person going, "Ah!" Like actual human vocal cords. Now these are some of the houses people actually like live in still, and some videos on YouTube probably like 12, 15 years old. Some of the residents talking about shadow figures, footsteps, all of the stuff that you would think of for paranormal. Friday House, what up? Yeah, birds can sound like that, but it sounded like it was right outside the jailhouse room, the gatehouse, which really, it did. It made my hair stand up. I keep walking into the ducks and birds. I know if they sound like. I keep scaring them. Too bad about quarters one, but I'll be back to try and do it again. If I get in trouble, I get in trouble. But we're just heading out. If you'd like to show yourself, now would be a good time. See, there's one of them birds. Hey, bird. And they have a very distinct call. Cool, I saw a fox, but it didn't sound like a fox that screamed either. REM pod might have been wind. Not gonna get stuff every time, but I've had one exciting night so far. Security, duck birds, and creepy scream. Still, my favorite place is right here. Let's make sure we're not gonna piss off one of these birds. Yeah, something must have happened because there's caution, or no, there's not. I thought it was caution tape. But this house, still my favorite on the fort. From what I heard the security guard say, he's had some problems before. So somebody probably tried to get in there. Alright, well, let's leave the fort. I don't know if you can hear me. I hope you enjoyed this. We'll be back here for more investigating of this amazing house. I got to talk to a few people and find out when it's going to be open and fully renovated, see if I can do an investigation on the inside so security's not just kicking me out. Go take a peek in the moat and then I'm getting out of here. I've had my fun. Don't need to keep that security guard working to kick me out again. Let go! So another thing that's been going on around here, ice cream trucks are snatching kids. So don't let, oh look, there's security guard flashing his flashlight around. Probably, yeah, he's up there. See him flashing. Yeah, the guy was old. I didn't want to, he was like, hey, get out of there. I said, okay. I really did want to see if I could get footsteps again under there, but whatever. He probably thinks my flashlight's security guard too, so he's like, oh, cool. Straight line. I have seen a possum swimming in here, but I think I'm gonna get out of here. Security's searching for people. Hello.
Hi.
Alright guys, I'm getting out of here. Keep it spooky, y'all. Definitely had a good time, even if I'm getting yelled at by security. He thought I was up on that rampart still. He's up there searching for me. Sorry, security guy. I hope you guys enjoyed this. We'll be back. We're going to do D-Russie on a less windy day where the cannon exploded and 11 men passed away. SrSpookfest is out. I will be back soon. My next live might be trivia, and we'll do some movie trivia, horror movie trivia, maybe serial killer trivia. Maybe this Friday. I hope you guys have fun. Have a great night. Thank you for coming in and watching. I will be back soon. Laters.